We're excited you're near the point of LOI, and we want to prepare you about the likely next steps ahead of you. And while this is somewhat buyer-specific, they generally follow a similar pattern. First, know that the signing of the LOI is a very important milestone in the process. It signifies just how serious you are to your new partner, and while it's generally non-binding, this gives them confidence to start spending real money and marshaling in resources to get the deal finalized. Before we start, there are 3 things we want to get your head around. First, we want to warn you that this is the least fun part of the journey. The honeymoon is over, so to speak. Not that it's a lot of grinded out type work to get you over the finish line, but deal fatigue will likely kick in. But we're here to help you get through this. Feel free to lean on us for all your needs, or if you just want to vent about something. We know how you feel. Second, lean on your team. We know as the owner of your practice, you have a business to run. Thus, doing so while managing this process for owners who, if you can admit, are probably not the most detail-oriented in the world, could get very frustrating. So our best advice is to have the detailed people on your team do the heavy lifting. In fact, we often see owners turn over the entire process, other than the legal, over to their team and try to avoid much of the meeting. Third, you're not going to be dealing with the buyer's deal people much in this part of the journey. These are the buyer's personnel and your future teammates who'll be doing the blocking and tackling. They're doing their job and aren't always in tune with how emotional and weary your team may be. So please understand that while these things that they're asking of you may frustrate you, they're merely doing what their firm requires to successfully onboard you. If you get frustrated and want to cry, yell, or vent, just call Alaris. The post-LOI workflow starts the first week after the signing the LOI and encompasses 3 primary areas. First is official due diligence. Second is the legal drafting of the purchase agreements. And third, preparing to transition. You should anticipate the days following the LOI execution. A party on the buyer's team will reach out and schedule a weekly meeting wherein all 3 topics are being discussed and organized. We call these transition meetings, but all topics are on the table. An Alaris team member will be on all of these calls to help answer any questions, help understand how to prioritize certain things, and of course, troubleshoot any issues. Let's talk about each of the 3 areas. First was official due diligence. As you know, you've provided Alaris with a lot of data thus far, and while it's been a substantial amount of info provided, we're going to turn it up a notch. The buyer will be opening a data room and providing you with a detailed list of data requests from financial to client information, vendor contracts, and employee information. It is highly detailed. Some buyers may even ask for a quality of earnings report, which is a mini audit to confirm your revenues managed by a third-party accounting firm. Don't worry, Alaris will be there to help you understand any and all data requests and manage the buyer's expectations around timing, and certainly if you don't have something that they've requested. Just mentally be prepared to start sending data constantly for the next several weeks. Also, it's common that during this part of the buyer's process, they'll ask to see your revenue numbers again, particularly if we are near a billing cycle. Second is legal. If you don't have a lawyer, particularly one with M&A experience, and here's the important part, in wealth management, then we can refer you to a number of great firms who are pros at this. The thing to keep in mind here is that while your lawyer is a fiduciary agent to protect you, you're still the boss. Buyers have drafted purchase agreements that they really don't like to change much, because if they've had dozens of purchase agreements that all look differently, it would degrade their value of the firm. So please tell your lawyer, of course, to protect you, but do not try to rewrite the agreements. Alaris can help you and your lawyer know where the buyer is likely to make concessions and where they will not budge. This saves you time, money, and of course, some aggravation. Third is the transition preparation. This should be a weekly meeting with the buyer, custodians, and your team to facilitate a smooth transition. This is going to be frustrating. And frankly, it's a ton of work, and your team is going to be worn out. We recommend preparing them for it, and maybe even giving them a little reward for all the hard work that they're getting ready to put in. This is where most of your time will be spent over the next coming weeks. Most buyers have an internal transition team to help. They know that this is the worst part of the process, and they're eager to make it as easy on you as possible. But there's no getting around it. Transitions are painful, and just know it'll be over soon. So that's it. We're excited at this point in the process. Be ready, stay calm. Call us if there's anything that you need to vent or if you don't understand something. We promise in about 6 months, the air will smell cleaner, food will taste better, and your stress level will go way down. So go get them.